Hello, welcome again in my channel, The Stories, where you can hear stories from all over the globe. And today, our story is from the first Italian in this channel, David. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here with you.
I'm glad to have you here also. So, as always, I want to go directly to the questions. And what is the most interesting story in your life?
I would say the one that framed my last 7, 8 years. So from when I finished high school until now, or maybe a couple of years ago. I would say now I'm a bit over that point, and it's basically the story of myself. Of course, I like to stay more in the reality than in fiction. Of a shy, very introvert boy that did what he had to do to become much less shy, still introvert, but in peace with myself.
What is the story?
So I come from a quite a small town, very touristic, but still 5,000 people in the middle of the Italian Alps, and there was not much to do there, and I was not really fitting with the people. So I, as soon as I could, with Nick, my friend,
You
we
can come.
he's
You have
here.
another Italian from that town. Huh?
I will be in the next interview.
Yeah, like 1 week ago after the high school, we just went straight away from that place. First for a travel in America, then always sometimes together, sometimes separate in other places. Me in Canada, then together in Australia, then Amsterdam, Florence, and then to finish with a big bicycle trip around Europe that was stopped by COVID, and also COVID was the end and the beginning of a new phase. So I guess the story is about all this traveling, that it's more to discover myself rather than discover other places.
So, in all this experience, what is the most interesting thing happened to you in your life?
I would say the last part of this experience was the most mind blowing for me, the most changing. And the trip we did with the bicycle, it lasted 11 months. We were supposed to arrive in Thailand, but COVID stopped us in Georgia. We started from Italy. We went up towards Norway, where we splitted just before that for a few months until we came back from Estonia down, and in Hungary we got back together. And then we crossed in the winter Turkey until entering in Georgia. So it was also nice to have both of experiences, both in a couple of travelers and alone. In a couple is more fun. Alone you grow more. You have your bigger memories maybe, and the most touching ones.
So, like, tell me one of the like something interesting that you faced that you did, like something memorable.
One event in
One,
particular.
yes, one event in
Okay, I
particular.
would say in Norway, as soon as we splitted, I mean, Norway is a expensive country and with few people on the way. So we went from being in a very densely populated part of Europe with not only Nick but also another friend who was joining, until I was completely alone for this first week, especially. I basically didn't talk with anybody almost. I was always eating the same 5 products that I could afford every day. Always sleeping in a tent in the middle of nothing. And this is maybe the time in my life that I felt the most lonely. I was really not expecting it. And I was really looking forward to arrive in, what's the name of the town? Stavanger, which is in the south of Norway, 1 week away from Kristiansand, where I started. And there I was really looking forward to find some hospitality on couch surfing, which was not the first time I would have done it. And I was sending requests, nobody was replying. And I was quite demoralized. I went in a McDonald's. I stayed there some hours, many hours, just to continue trying to find something. And I don't know, there was really. I was already sure I would have just taken my tent and go into a beach and put my tent there, even though it was not the best solution because I really needed also a shower after 1 week. And suddenly a lady approached me. She was super nice with a little daughter as well. And she started talking, was very nice, and she also offered me a lot of little things from McDonald's, and also gave me like a 200 Corona banknote, I guess it was, like 20 euros worth. And a few minutes later, while I was talking with her, also somebody accepted my request, and it was like really, I was amazed by how things when get really hard mentally go at the end at their place in very few minutes can go.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't keep my tears. I was just like broke out crying. And though it was not the only time it happened in Scandinavia. Also another time in Stockholm had a very similar thing. And also before Stockholm, I would say 3 times in between Norway and Sweden. One day I was just entered in Sweden and it was raining for like 40 hours straight, and I was all wet. I really needed to dry my tent and myself. And was in the middle of nothing. There was just a little city not too far away. Also there, the only request I sent went through, and it ended up being a huge house on the lake all by myself for 2 days. We also tried to fish in the lake together with the water ski jet. And another time in Stockholm, I was trying to find a hostel, but they were all full or too expensive because there was some event going on and I didn't know. And so I was planning to pass the whole night at Burger King to charge and take internet. And a Polish guy came, started talking to me, always at the last moment.
Yeah.
And he hosted me. And it was, I would say these are the best memory of the trip. It really made me understand how most of the people in the world are good. Much more than the opposite, even if that's what we are used to here.
So what is the most scary or difficult experience? The difficult, maybe we mention a part of it, but like the most scary one.
The most scary, I mean, I have to say I wasn't ever really in a huge threat.
I mean, in your life in general. We're getting help here.
The one in Slovakia.
In Poland.
Yeah, or was in Poland, yeah.
Nella casa abbandonata?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. No, there is one actually kind of funny. It was not so scary, but was pretty. Basically, I was in Poland. It was also raining the whole day, and I saw abandoned house outside of Jelenia Gora. I think it was the city, close to the border with Czech Republic. And so I decided to enter so I could dry my stuff and have a roof over my head, without windows at least. And I put my stuff, I was ready to go to bed. Then I heard some steps, a group of people coming. I said, no. And I was trying to see who was that. We were just talking Polish, of course. And I didn't know what to do, if to stay there, to go away, to talk with them, or to just ignore them. So I didn't want to have this anxiousness before sleeping. So I just went to see who it was and talk with them, even if it's something that I don't normally do, because I don't know, I like to be myself also in these situations. And it ended up being a group of Polish guys, young guys who were just wanted to smoke some weed without being seen. And at the end we had a cool conversation. Only one of them could speak English, but before they arrived I also saw there was some like plastic bottles cut in half, and I was connecting that more to other kind of drugs rather than marijuana, but at the end it was a good time. Or another very funny little story, when I was in Norway, I was sleeping in the garden of a school, and around 1 in the night I heard outside of the tent some like very loud volume porn video going.
Okay.
Yeah, it lasted like maybe 10 minutes, then it changed into music, and I didn't dare to see what it was outside the tent. And after other 10 minutes it went away, but of course I couldn't sleep for the whole night. So yeah, these are...
No idea about what was that.
I have no idea. Probably just some guy that saw the tent a bit too late.
He went to mess with you.
Yeah, but no, otherwise I wouldn't say I had any terrible experience. I was quite lucky.
A person in your life you will never forget about.
I mean, I could go very easy and say Nick.
Again? No,
Yeah,
enough.
He's definitely been my best friend for all this time, and probably my life wouldn't be the same without him and the support that we gave each other. But otherwise, I would say also this girl that offered me those snacks in the McDonald's. I think she really... I think I will never forget that.
Yeah, sometimes it's even if it's a small stuff or something, but sometimes it will be really memorable to just offer even a small kindness in the world
Yeah.
to another person. Sometimes it's really huge and it will keep in the memories because of that. Like, try always just be nice even with the small stuff.
Yeah.
It's always rememberable. Right?
Yeah, when you travel this way, you get a lot of kindness from people, and
Yeah.
it's definitely I want to give back something that I want to give back from now on as well when I can.
So, what is your theory about life?
My theory about life wasn't that clear until little time ago. I think until 1 or 2 years ago, I was just trying to get to my goal. That was to be much less shy, more confident, proud of myself, and I think I got there. Now, in these 2 years living in Cologne, in Germany, I have been really thinking about a new purpose and about life in general. So I think I developed some kind of idea of it, or at least put in words what I thought. And actually, a few days ago, I saw a nice explanation of it that can kind of summarize it. Like the goal of life is to find your gift, but the purpose of it is to give it away to other people.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm a person that doesn't care that much about material stuff, even though I really like. I have my passion. I like to have my little things, but I will never spend more money than necessary for the things that I need and that I want. And yeah, my theory of life is just to stay true to myself. That's like the number one rule.
Yeah.
And not plan too much in advance. See where life brings you. And yeah, just be myself. I guess the more you grow, the less it's easy to do that. And I was lucky to follow this path early in my life, but many people arrive to 30 years old and then they understand that there is something off. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy I did it before all of that. So now I can concentrate on putting maybe the basis of something more static, less nomad.
Mm.
And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But I don't want to go off that path, always having in mind to put my heart first.
So, what about an interesting idea that you believe in? Like theory, interesting idea, something different.
Okay. I mean, I have to say I'm not spiritual. I'm not. I'm quite fixed on reality, but at the same time, I think we cannot explain everything with logic and what makes sense. I think there is also a big part of just feeling. And if I really have to say one, I don't know. There is this, yeah, an example for that. There is like a personality test that is called MBTI, which is not scientific, is not backed up by science, but it's a very useful way to understand yourself and also other people. Of course, there is not only the character part of one person, the other half is made by experiences that one lived in the life. But I think it can really help, at least it helped me to understand other people, judge them less, and understand that they are not wrong, they are just different. And yeah, maybe this is something that not everybody agrees about, but and sometimes it's also a bit awkward to bring up the topic because yeah, it's easy to think that it's bullshit, you know.
No, but like sometimes it's because of the culture difference, the different way of mentalities, different way of the way of thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could have the total wrong idea about something, but like the other person think totally the opposite in the life. Of course, uh, every one of us made this in the life because of that. Like, we what I want to say, we should be more patient. We should be more open to understand, or even to ask or just talk about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really important to just get what is the other person is thinking about.
Yeah, judge less and think more. Try to find a middle ground, the reason why they are doing something or they think one way. Their life experiences probably brought them to this situation. And yeah, for me, it's very interesting to kind of put myself in the shoes of others and trying to find a middle ground and one way to talk about. Even though it's also a big fear of me, like to I can feel very comfortable talking with some people. So it would be interesting to break this wall and just see if they are open as well to have a deep conversation with me and see if we can get to a nice result with it. That would be interesting.
Uh, the next question is wait, oh shit, I forgot about.
You can check.
No, the advice that you will pass to people that you had it, you heard it before, someone give it to you, you just want to pass it to other people.
It's not that hard to build some time for yourself and to rather than always have something to do in your hand or talking to people, just take some time for yourself to think. It's not even meditation, it's just thinking. I had a lot of time to just stay by myself and think and listen to podcasts also, podcasts about philosophy and life experiences. So yeah, do less sometimes and yeah, think about your life. Not don't just think about work. I think many people don't even think it's possible to do what we did, for example, to just take the bicycle and do a trip. I mean, we found some sponsors for the gears, and yes, just don't think that losing a job is the end of the world. You just need some courage to leave something that you don't enjoy, and if it doesn't fill your purpose, yeah, just try because it's possible. It's nothing so hard to do, I think. Then of course also there it depends from your values, from what kind of person you are. If you are more egoistic, or if your meaning is more about other people, then maybe I can understand, but at least in that way you already have a meaning, so that's already a good
Yeah.
place to start from. Yeah, I would say that's
And I want to say also, like, just always, guys, just take care of your mentality, your soul, your body. Take care about yourself, because you are the most important things. Like anything else that come later, but just think about. Don't be. I'm not saying that to be selfish, but just yeah, to take care of what your soul wants, what your body wants, what your mentality wants. Just take care of it. And what's your motivation in life? What motivates you?
as I said, I had one before. Was to become proud of myself and more confident, and I got there. And yeah, now I'm still looking for the main one. Yeah, I would say this. I mean, this kind of a limbo in which, of course, very. I continue to try to improve myself and live experiences, and I hope that this way I can get to the answer soon. But yeah, right now, it's hard to say. It's a really big question that I had to.
Okay, source of happiness.
Um,
What is your source of happiness? What makes
My
you
source
happy?
of happiness is definitely the relationship that I have with people, the few ones that I'm close with, not much, the shallow one. And to feel my curiosity. I'm a very curious person, and if I couldn't just feed this curiosity, I would feel just very bad and probably a bit depressed. And yeah, always to be excited for the future. There are some times in which every day was the same. I was feeling no emotion at all, no good, no bad, and that was a very bad time. For example, in Amsterdam was like this.
Mm.
So yeah, to be excited for the future is maybe the biggest motivation for me right now.
And what is your dream in life? What do you want to be?
I don't have any job kind of dream. I just want to see where life brings me. I always hope it's something that I would have never guessed before. But if I have to say how I see myself in 30 years, I would say with, of course, my soulmate, hopefully, which is a very hard task to find.
Yeah.
And maybe the closest friends and their family too. Definitely have a family, some kids at some point. And just having a stress-free job, a stress-free environment around me with maybe some crops and some animals around, some goats, some chickens would be nice.
Yeah. We have some of them in the background.
Exactly.
Sorry, guys, for that.
And yeah, this kind of simple but also very with many input around me every day from different directions, and of course some hobbies. I like to do creative stuff, so maybe do that as a hobby. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys, for watching. See you soon.
I hope it was for me it was a nice half an hour.
Yeah.
I hope also for you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you, guys. Thanks for
Support.
it's important to show.
Only one but loud.
Yeah. See you, guys.